Three, two, one. Hey, everybody, how we doing today? So good to see you. We are live here at Midweek United for what's today's date? January 31st, and we had a great time. We just wrapped up, and my good friend Kellan is joining us tonight, and as always, Caitlin's here. And I am your friendly neighborhood youth guy, Matt Parker, and so glad that you chose to join us. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. School's going good. I had an A- on a test today, so that's pretty fun.
Oh, an A- on a test?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Is A- good for you, or is it?
It's good for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's better than a B+.
Yeah.
That is good. I think on the scale, I think that makes sense. That's good. Yeah. All right. So what about you, Caitlin? How are you doing?
Not too bad. I've mainly just been working.
Just working?
Yeah, or at the gym. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, very cool. Very cool. I have had a great day. It's been busy, but it's good. Hey, there's something that's been happening with me lately. I've been waking up at like 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I think I'm getting old because I'll wake up and I have to pee like I've been holding it for a day and a half. It feels like it, and then I stand up, and it is just I almost have to race to get to the bathroom.
Matt,
because
there are some things that maybe don't need to be shared, such as your bladder.
Seriously?
And its activity.
You don't want to hear about my pee schedule?
No.
I think I'm good about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good without that as well.
All right. Okay. So Kellan, so I'm gonna put you on the spot since you're in the hot seat. What was tonight's message about?
It was about how amen is used to conclude things, and also to like power emphasis. You really want to get your point across. Say amen.
Right. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, that's good. All right. So your other hot seat question, right? Mm-hmm. If you had to live on a boat for the rest of your life with one other person, and they played an instrument badly, but that's the only instrument on the boat, what instrument would you want that to be?
It'd probably be the violin, because then I could teach them how to play the violin.
Okay, so you could help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And if you're there for the rest of your life, you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
See, I thought about this question like ahead of time, and I'm like, if you're living on this boat for the rest of your life with this person and with the one musical instrument, wouldn't in theory, with time, they would get better?
Yeah.
So it's not like they'd be terrible for the rest of your life. They likely improve it to some extent, at least. They're not going to be any professional by any means, but they'll at least they'll be better than they started.
Yeah, I would hope that they would get a little better. I would absolutely not choose like the recorder, or I think that would be the absolute worst.
The only reason why I would choose the recorder is just for like jokes,
Yeah.
just for the giggles, have a good time.
We're having a good time playing the recorder.
We're having a good time playing the Me theme from Wii on the recorder.
You know that?
Do you know that one?
No, I was just
Do you play the recorder? Do you still have your recorder from when you were in third grade?
Yeah. I have two.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably not gonna make it very wide, so I can share this. Our daughter was once given a fancy like wooden recorder from one of her suitors, boyfriend, person who wanted to like impress her, and so she gave her a wooden recorder. Wasn't that? That's a good gift. That's a good gift. All right.
Do you still have the recording?
They broke up, so I'm not sure if she still has it or not. I probably shouldn't talk about this because this could go public. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always cut it for video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably will, or maybe not. We rarely cut anything out of these. All right. So Kellan, I'll let you think about this a little more, but every time we have this conversation, we always talk about something that we're consuming in the cultural arena. All right. So Kellan, I'll let you think about this a little more, but every time we have this conversation, we always talk about something that we're consuming in the cultural arena. All right. So you can think about yours for a minute, Caitlin. What have you been like watching, listening to, reading, visiting?
So I had two come up in my head as I was like thinking on this. First, I've been watching Royal Pains.
Royal Pains.
Royal Pains.
Okay.
It is a show about a concierge doctor. He started out as an ER doctor, got fired, and then his brother came up with this big idea of concierge medicine.
Okay.
And so his brother's the business guy, and then he's the doctor. So they worked together, created this business.
Okay.
And so it's all of their, all the different medical cases and things, adventures of being a concierge doctor in the Hamptons.
Right? For rich people.
Yes.
Okay. Pretty good?
Yeah.
Is it like a funny show, gory show, or like what's the genre?
I don't even know how you would define it, because there's not much gore, because they don't really show much of the...
So it's not like CSI where they're like going into the wound and showing you how this person died or anything?
No. There's all different kinds of plots in there. You've got romantic side plots, and you've got friendships and various things, and so it's all over. It's more, I feel like, on the comedic side.
Okay.
Like lighthearted.
Yeah.
But I have watched it before.
Yeah.
When it originally aired on TV.
Yeah.
But I've just watched it through like Amazon Prime. So.
Fantastic.
For my second thing.
All right.
This has come up in the last 2 or 3 days, and it's a trend that has started on TikTok.
Okay, I'm nervous.
And so it started after the 2 championship games for the NFL.
Okay.
And it's people giving their, if they wrote the script, like they're exposing the script of the outcome of the Super Bowl. And it progressively gets worse as it goes on.
Okay.
So, it starts out like, Chiefs go up, touchdown in the first quarter, then 49ers answer back, makes it tied 7-7.
But what's actually going to happen is the 49ers just romp all over them. Is that...
No. Most often, the 49ers are in some kind of accident. Either during halftime or in the second half of the game.
So you've tried your hand at storytelling the Super Bowl this way?
I haven't, but I've read the ones that people have shared.
Yeah.
There's one that there's an airplane that guns down only the 49ers team, and then the Lions come out.
Like on the field?
Yes. And it's only the 49ers. And then the Detroit Lions come out and play in their place, and then they go up, and it ends up like 1,007-7 kind of thing. And they're the most crazy stories and plots that they could possibly be.
That's hilarious. All right, Kellen, if you could make the game go any direction you wanted, how would it go?
First the 49ers would be in the lead by a quarter, but then something unexpected would happen, and then all of a sudden half the Chiefs team come out, but Patrick Mahomes is still there, and so Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes just leads them to victory.
Okay.
I know you're a big 49ers fan.
So the 49ers Lions game, it was 24-7 at halftime, and then the 49ers won, was it 34-31, right? So it could be like that. Only the Chiefs end up pulling it out. Okay. All right. Okay. So what have you been consuming in the cultural arena?
So I only thought of one, but then I realized I have kind of 2.
Okay.
So the first one is this book I've been reading recently. It's called Warriors. It's about these group of cats who live in clans, and they have differences and stuff, and so sometimes they fight, sometimes they don't. But so I've been reading about a clan who's been isolated from all the other clans called Sky Clan, and their trials and errors of being a clan that just started out away from the others.
Yeah.
It's they don't know what to do, but they're trying their best.
Sounds like a good book. You like it?
Yeah.
You following, and it's have you finished yet?
I'm halfway probably by now.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, ever since the announcement of Despicable Me 4, I have been rewatching all the Despicable Me and Minion movies.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen for us before we go watch the 4th one. Yeah, definitely. Well, okay, so it's been a while since we've recorded one of these, so I've done a lot.
Yeah.
From Only Murders in the Building, which is incredible. A lot of F-bombs, but incredible.
I've wanted to watch that.
So good.
I thought about it.
But I can't recommend it officially because of the F-bombs. There are just so, and it's unnecessary. It's crazy. But evidently it's how, typical New York people talk. And so, But Steve Martin, Martin Short, they do a great job. And Selena Gomez, and she's awesome. So anyway, but the other thing, and again, it's something I cannot officially recommend, but we've watched both seasons of Reacher, right? Like I watched the movies with Tom Cruise, and then I saw a description of what Reacher is actually supposed to look like, and he's supposed to be like this mountain of a man, like super muscular, and he walks in, he gets the girl and kills a bunch of people and brings justice. He's like this vigilante, person, and then the show, and Tom Cruise is none of those things, like completely unbelievable in that role, right? But this guy, Alan Richardson is huge. He's like 6'5", 320. He's like muscles, like he's huge. You totally believe that this guy, if he walks into your town, something's about to go down, right? And so it's a fantastic story, but there's a lot of F-bombs, and I was actually surprised. Usually when I'm watching shows or movies, I've got earbuds in, and the phone's in my pocket, and I'm just kind of working around the house or whatnot. And so I'm like, Misha, you got to watch this show with me. This is a great show, and we're watching, and what I thought was just making out was not just making out, and so I can't so there are issues with the show. And I was completely embarrassed when we saw that part of the show. But anyway, it was the story is great. But here's the thing. Here's why I wanted to bring this one up. Is because Alan Richardson is like a super Christian. I saw a TikTok of him. I'm not on TikTok, but I saw a TikTok recording of him, like with his Bible out, and people have been like, "How can you be a Christian and play this character on screen who's murdering people, who uses bad language, who has at least one sexual encounter with a random person, in the towns that he goes to?"
Right.
And so it's like, how can you play this character and maintain your Christian witness? And he had a decent answer to that, but I'm not sure I'm fully satisfied about that, because there are other Christian people in Hollywood. Zachary Levi's one. He's actually on Broadway now, but he's a believer and pretty strong. But his characters are, Reacher's noble, but he's super duper flawed, right? And I know that's all over the Bible and stuff like that. But I think when we have the choice and we know what God wants us to do, and we have the choice, I think that we should choose not the murder and sex and all of that. Right? We just actually talked about that. All right. Okay. So let's get into our from the headlines conversation. Right, Kellen, this is completely new for you, right? But I read this morning, and there was some talk about it for the last couple of weeks. But the Republicans in the House of Representatives have just come to an agreement on impeaching Alejandro Mayorkas, who is the head of the Homeland Security, right? And what they're saying is that he's letting immigration go out of control on purpose by not enforcing the laws at the border, and it's really bringing to like the forefront this whole argument about what we should be doing about immigration, right? And so that just made me think, what should we think about this whole deal, right? Should we like we're going to talk about this here in a few months, but I don't think that the answer is like political, but how should we like deal with immigrants? Like, Kellen, what would you say a Christian should what attitude should a Christian have when it comes to like an immigrant, someone who's like fleeing their country because they're in danger?
I feel like we should welcome them and take them in, but I know a lot of people disagree with me on that.
Yeah. So you think a Christian should be like, welcome, like we'll take care of you, we'll keep you safe, right? But on an individual basis, I think a lot of people are like that. But I think the disagreement comes when it comes to what is the political solution. Is there a political solution, right? What do you think, Caitlin?
I mean, I first thought of like this on the political side of things because that's most often what people want.
Yeah.
Like, here is the political answer,
Right.
like you were saying. And I couldn't give a good political answer because I have no strong like side that I take. It's the right wing or left wing. Because I grew up in the church in a conservative household, and then also in this generation where it's more. It's not so conservative.
Right.
And so, being like as a kid, I didn't want to be the one oddball out saying, the conservative opinions, whereas everyone else is not.
Right.
So, I mean, as a Christian, yes, what you said, Kellen, we want to welcome them, show them love. That's the primary answer. What would be best.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a hard conversation if we think about it from a political stance, right? If we're talking about the nation of the United States of America, there are tons of opinions and people disagree and fight about it. But I think that if we come at it from what Christ would have us do, I think it's clear. We are exiles. We are immigrants in the world ourselves. And so it's our job, and it's commanded in the Old Testament for the nation of Israel. They were supposed to welcome immigrants and foreigners and aliens and all of those whatever terms they have there. I think it's for us. I think there's no question. We welcome the people who come across our come to our table. We have an open table to anybody who comes, and so I think it's helpful for us as a church to kind of separate the conversation a little bit, to say we're welcoming and we bring foreigners in to our table, but there's no political solution that's going to answer the problem completely. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you guys. If there's any insight that you might have, what should our posture be, even politically, towards immigrants, and how can we solve this immigration crisis at the border? We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what your thoughts are, and you can leave those in the comments or approach us on the street randomly as we're walking down Douglas and Lee Summit. That'd be just fine. All right. Well, Kellen, thanks for coming. You're awesome, and thanks for joining us today. And we'll be back to a more regular schedule here pretty soon, hopefully. And yeah, anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we will see you again next time. We'll see you later.